This is the GIS Evening Report for Thursday, June 6th, 2024. I am Rakisha St. Louis. In the headlines, Senate passes Education Amendment Bill. We'll have details to this story and more when we return.
This June marks government's second year in office. Let's reflect together in a series of town hall meetings, discussing and planning for the next year and beyond. St. Patrick, we're coming your way first this Monday, June 10th at McDonald College from 7 p.m. Your voice matters, and we want to hear from you. Join us for an engaging and informative evening as we work towards a better future together. Don't miss out on this opportunity to engage with your government officials. This Monday, June 10th at McDonald College from 7 p.m. Also live on GIS, Channel 22. Together, we can work towards a brighter future. See you there.
Welcome back. Education Minister, Senator the Honorable David Andrew, says the Education Amendment Bill 2024, which was passed in Senate on Thursday, will bridge gaps in the employment industry and present more skilled, qualified, work-ready employees. The bill seeks to increase the compulsory school age from 16 years to 17 years inclusive, which means that a child must remain in school until he or she attains the age of 18. This will take effect from the start of the new school year in September 2024.
This is the legal language to say 18 years. So, in principle, we are moving the upper limit of the compulsory school age to 18. That's what this means. But of course, it has to be put in legal jargon and consistent with the writing of the Education Act. Because the Education Act says the compulsory school age is from 5 to 16. And we keep the inclusives. If you say to 18, it will imply beyond 18, which takes you into your 19th birthday, which is not a legal position to take. So when we say 17 inclusive, I want everybody around listening to understand that this actually means all of 17 up to the last day before you attain your 18th birthday.
Senator Andrew said more emphasis will be placed on skills training and work ethics to make students more marketable.
We find that there are several students who leave school duly after completing secondary school at age 16, and they can easily say, well, I'm through with education, I'm through with learning, I'm going to find a work, I'm going to find a job. But the reality is that these young persons are inadequately prepared for the world of work. Our business senator on the other side will tell us that the experiences come from a lot of employers, that there's a lack of work readiness on the part of our young persons coming out of the school system. The education sector has an obligation and a responsibility to bridge that gap. And so this results in frustration for many of the young, for the employers. Let me put it that way first. And so many of the employers apply to the Ministry of Labor for work permits for foreigners to come, to do jobs that ordinarily Grenadian young people could have been doing if they had the proper skill sets.
Leader of Government Business Senator Adrian Thomas and Business Senator Salim Rahman give support to the bill.
If as a society we are advocating that secondary school is the end of the game, we are investing heavily in poverty. We are investing heavily in poverty. I started to work after secondary school. My mother died. My father was not in a position to take care of me in the way that he should. I left my grandparents home because they did enough, and I was renting on my own. Madam President, I took the bold decision to abandon the job because $400, $500 would not have carried me where I am today. Many people, when they start off in work, a lot of people are excited. I want to finish school. I want to go to work. But they will soon realize that when they start to have responsibilities, have to pay their own rent, they want a car, they start to make children, they will realize that the job they have cannot sustain them. And therefore, it is important that we improve our education at the preliminary stage of our development.
I support having students learn and improve as much as possible before they enter the workforce, because the reality is, once they enter the workforce and other things come into play, other areas of responsibility, it's very difficult for them to go back. Very, very difficult. Continuing education is a challenge.
Youth and Sports Minister, Senator the Honorable Jonathan Lacrette, says the soft skills component of the Empower program will be extended to the 12-month duration of the program instead of just 3 months. This forms part of efforts to remodel the program to ensure participants can benefit significantly. Empower program provides young men between the ages of 18 to 35 with opportunities for self-empowerment, holistic development, skills certification, and employment. Successful participants benefit from a grant fund to start their own business. During Thursday's sitting of the Senate, Senator the Honorable Jonathan Lacrette also announced that the 4th cohort of the program will officially commence in November. However, registration will begin next Monday in Carriacou.
As of Monday, 10th June 2024, that's next week, Monday, registration will start in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. I want to appeal to all parliamentarians, the young men that you know in your constituency, parish, community, village, that you feel will be able to benefit tremendously from this program. Please encourage them to go to the center where the registration is going to be taking place so that they can register and participate in the program. We have done some remodeling of the program, Madam President. I did mention that, I believe, in the last Senate sitting. And one of the remodeling aspects of the program is that the skills training, the soft skills component of the program was only for 3 months, but we felt it best to run the soft skills throughout the entire duration of the program so that it benefits the participants in a holistic and sustainable way upon exiting the program.
The registration train moves to St. David on June 12th at the Corinth Government School, June 13th and 14th in St. George's at the Athletic Stadium, June 17th and 18th at the YWCA building in Grenville, St. Andrew. Interested persons from St. Patrick can register at the Fur Recreational Ground, June 19th. Officials will travel to St. Mark and St. John, June 21st and 24th at the Resource Center and Pastoral Center, respectively, from 9 to 3 p.m. Prospective candidates must walk with their banking details and national identification card. This is the GIS Evening Report. We'll have more news after the break.
Are you thinking about buying a vehicle? Did you find a company on social media? Stop. It may be a scam. Look out for the following red flags. Is the price lower than other dealers? Does it seem too good to be true? Are you sending the monies to the US even though you are ordering the vehicle from Japan? Does the address on the invoice match the address on the payment details? Are conversations limited to WhatsApp text? Is there a sense of urgency placed on you by the seller? You are about to be scammed. Do not take your hard-earned cash or even worse, a loan to send to these scammers. Once the money leaves Grenada's shores, you are not likely to get it back. Consider buying a vehicle already on island from an individual or a car dealer. Beware of these scammers. If in doubt, it's best to stay out. A message from the Financial Intelligence Unit.
Welcome back. Minister for Education, Honorable David Andrew, has assured that all efforts are being made to address the challenges that have resulted in some teachers being paid late. During a meeting of the Senate on Thursday, Senator Andrew also provided an update on the school feeding program. Details in this report by Annette Moore.
Concerns over late payments to teachers and perceived issues in the school feeding program were addressed by Senator the Honorable David Andrew, Minister for Education, in today's sitting of the House of Senate. Senator Andrew explains what caused late payments of teachers within recent times and says it is something the ministry is taking serious steps to rectify.
I want to talk quickly, Madam President, about statements being bantered around about teachers' frustration because of late salary payments. I think those statements quite irresponsible and unfortunate. So there are almost 1,800 teachers within our education sector. 1,800 almost. And when we talk, most of those teachers get pay on time. We talk here, when we talk about teachers getting pay late, between January and May 2024, there were about 25 or 26 teachers who were appointed, reappointed, or reassigned. And it's within that pocket of persons that there were some delays in payment. I'm talking about January to May 2024, right? I would admit, Madam President, that delayed payment is not something that I support.
Minister Andrew notes that when a teacher is employed, he or she is expected to look the part, show up regularly and on time from their entry into the service, and therefore they should be able to support this financially.
At this point in 2024, we need to be working to change this, and we are working to change it. We have taken a policy position within education to attempt to have all persons paid within a 6-week period from being appointed, provided everything works well. As we speak, Madam President, there are only 8 teachers who have not received their salary from that bunch. As we speak, 8. And some of them for very technical reasons that require special investigation. Like coming from a sector where you still have your salary running and you need a new salary here, and both the system cannot reconcile them yet until one gets out of the system. All of these documents are with PSC right now for review. These are processes that we cannot circumvent the system except we change the system. So when we get information, it has to go to DPA, it has to go back to us, go to PSC, and except we change the system, which is probably done for review too, but these things take time. These systems existed for years. And so I too want to put on record my thanks for all of the agencies and partners that collaborate continually with education to see our teachers appointed.
With regard to the school feeding program, soon to be rebranded the Healthy Start Nutrition Program, there is a continued focus on nutritious meals vetted by the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council. Minister Andrew says that at times, due to the supplies coming from various contractors, there may be unavoidable delays.
You might find a school going to the business, or the business delivers, but they don't have all the stuff. So you might find 1 or 2 cases, and sometimes it's not their fault, sometimes it's shipping agencies' issues, sometimes it's general shortage. So we can't fault anybody for periodic shortages, but the system is there. One of the things I can say to you, we have not had, of the 10,000 persons being fed, and of the 101 schools currently, we have only had 1 or 2 reports from any school on occasions when there was some challenge. And once they called, we were able to rectify it. So there is a mechanism, Madam President, that if, for some reason, on any given day, more students decide to feed, and it challenges the supply that's already there, there is a mechanism to deal with that. But if persons choose not to use the mechanism and put it out wherever else, we are not aware. But as we speak, as a Ministry of Education, we are not aware that there are significant challenges with food supplies.
Senator Andrew reminded the House that earlier this year, the free meals program was implemented, removing the need for students to pay $1 and $3 per meal at the primary and secondary level, respectively. The program serves more than 10,000 students, attending in excess of 100 schools. For the GIS Evening Report, I'm Annette Moore.
This is the GIS Evening Report. We'll take a final break. When we return, new ambassador of Turkey presents credentials to Governor General.
Climate change is real, bringing hotter days and less rain. Less rain means less water, so it is crucial for all of us to conserve water at home. When washing my fruits and vegetables, I use a bowl of water, and later I reuse it to water my plants. This is how I save water at home. What are you waiting for?
Welcome back. Newly appointed ambassador to the Republic of Turkey to Grenada, Mrs. vgh'n, has highlighted her government's commitment to collaborating with Grenada in key sectors like agriculture, tourism, and education. She was at the time presenting her credentials to Governor General Dame Cecile Lagrenade. Both countries have shared cordial relations since 1978.
We have long-time relationships with Grenada, very friendly relations, which I am very proud of. And we are already cooperating in many institutions, like the UN, in ACS, in CARICOM. We have been supporting each other. This really makes me very proud. And I'm ready, together with my colleagues at the embassy, and of course with the backing of my ministry, to work on further deepen and diversify our relationships and find new ways of collaboration and cooperation. I was lucky to have a meeting yesterday with the Honorable Prime Minister and today with the Honorable Foreign Minister, and we already found some areas in which we can work together. And I will do my best to further cooperate with you and the institutions in Grenada.
Governor General Dame Cecile Lagrenade shared similar sentiments, affirming Grenada's readiness to engage with Turkey in areas that play a significant role in the development of both nations.
Your Excellency, Mrs. vgh'n, on behalf of His Majesty King Charles III and the government and people of Grenada, I am pleased to accept your credentials, accrediting you Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Turkey to Grenada. I am happy to welcome you to Grenada and look forward to working with you in strengthening the relations between our two countries. Since 1978, Grenada and Turkey have enjoyed cordial and cooperative diplomatic relations.
Turkey has contributed to the government and people of Grenada through assistance towards the reconstruction of buildings following Hurricane Ivan, including the Kalist Government School. 820,000 EC dollars have also been donated to fund different projects. Dame Cecile thanked the Republic of Turkey for its generous donations made over the years.
In 2015, the government of Turkey donated EC $537,000 to the Royal Grenada Police Force, which was used to purchase a new fire engine. In the field of education, full scholarships to pursue master's and doctoral degrees were offered by the government of Turkey in the areas of law of the sea and maritime law. We thank you for this past assistance, which has supported our country's most valuable asset, its human resource, and look forward to continued support from Turkey in the field of education.
The new ambassador paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell on Wednesday, where discussions were held on trade, education, and tourism. Discussions were also held on the possibility of having an honorary consul in Turkey to facilitate smoother trade relations. In the area of education, Prime Minister Mitchell boasted about the diverse population at the St. George's University and believes the Turkish government should explore opportunities for its students to attend SGU as well. Finally, Grenada observed World Environment Day on Wednesday with a call by Honorable Karen James, Minister for Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy, for collective action as we remain vulnerable in the face of climate change. Minister James delivered remarks under the theme Land Restoration, Halting Desertification and Promoting Drought Resilience.
Our fields are parched, our reservoirs low, our very soil cries out for relief. This year's theme isn't just relevant, it is a stark reminder of our vulnerabilities and the pressing need for action.
Minister James added that poor land management precipitates loss and jeopardizes food security, water quality, and protection against natural disasters, making it imperative for the country's future survival and prosperity. She called on world leaders for joint efforts in turning the tide against environmental degradation.
Here in Grenada, we are revitalizing our approach to environmental stewardship. We are revising our National Environment Management Strategy and updating our National Adaptation Plan. We are not just planning, we are acting, implementing policies that ensure sustainable land and soil management to bolster our resilience against climate change and natural disasters. Our recent efforts have included advancing soil classification, enhancing early warning systems, and documenting the slow yet irreversible impacts on our coastal zones. These steps, though significant, are merely the beginning. We must escalate our efforts, deepen our commitments, and solidify our partnerships across every sector of society.
The month of June continues with global celebrations like World Ocean Day on June 8th. The Ministry of Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy, in collaboration with the U.S. Embassy, will stage a cleanup activity at the lands in Guelph St. John on Saturday. It begins at 6 a.m. All residents and volunteers are invited to participate. The cleanup at the lands in Guelph underscores the ministry's commitment to raising awareness about the human impact on the ocean and mobilizing citizens, particularly residents of Guelph and its environs, to unite in safeguarding their pristine waterfront. That story just ended the GIS Evening Report for today. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I'm Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us.